When you're stuck in the middle of a bad dream, and for a fraction of a second, you can't remember where you are. Just close your eyes and follow the memory of. Hello, you. There is Bear. Hello, Bear. Hello, Bear. So cute. So handsome. So, what's going on? So we got a problem around here. My roommate Marie either has the flu or COVID-19. I can't figure out which one she has or she has something else that I just hope it's not any worse than, the flu or, COVID-19 is bad enough as it is. All right, Bear, calm down. Bear, no, stop a minute. I love you, buddy. So Marie was somewhat sick yesterday, but she really hit it today, with all the nasty stuff you can imagine going along with being sick. So she's dealing with that. We're trying to stay away from each other. I'm trying to encourage her to stay in her room as much as possible, rest as much as possible, because, you have to let this thing, die out, and you have to get rid of it. Otherwise, it'll spread, and I absolutely do not need to be sick. Although I'm having a low cough right now, which is freaking me out. I guess I'm paranoid, to some degree, because, oh God, I can't afford to get sick. We have 33 days from tomorrow, and it's just unbelievable. Oh, it's so retarded, and retarded is not the right choice of words. That's actually stupid, but it is so ridiculous, the excuses and the things you find to not get stuff done and to go focus on other things. I am actually trying to get organized, though, which is great. Long-term organized, but it is at the price of not necessarily getting as much done as quickly as I would like it to get done. I did get a bunch of boxes broken down today that have been all scattered all over the place. I have a little bit of stuff done over there. I've got a number of things off of this couch, which is good. I'm getting a number of items ready to ship back, which is going to clear up a lot of space in the home. Things I'm returning to the Amazon. But it is a very tedious process, and I am trying to find ways of organizing my ties, because my ties are not organized. I'm trying to find ways of organizing cords, which my cords aren't. I mean, I have them wrapped up. I have my cords wrapped. I have my cords wrapped. I can show. You have a cord wrapped up. You can show. I may not. I'm gonna try to see if I have anything wrapped up that I can show. The hell was that? Oh, it's a lid. Okay. I may not have one handy where I can show it right now, but that's right. So I have my cords wrapped up. This isn't funny because I usually have at least one cord wrapped up that I can show people how I wrap my cords, but doesn't look like I'm going to manage that right now. Oh, I understand. I just need to be quiet right now. We don't need you talking right now. Okay, there you go. You go sleepy. You go sleepy, BP. Okay. So, anyways, I have my cords wrapped up and everything, but I'm trying to find a way to organize them into little containers so I can go easily to that and go, this is the cord, and I know these cords are in this slot, and grab my cord from there, and not have to worry about chasing all these down and digging through a bin with a bunch of cords. Yes, that's an option, but since I don't see as well, I can't just eyeball it and go, there's a cord I need, and grab that one. So I'd rather have a little container, a little organized container, like a little craft drawer cabinet that I can say, these little drawers, this drawer is where I put USB-C to USB, things like that. I may have mentioned that yesterday, but I'm working on that. Also from some jewelry and items like sunglasses. I have a number of pair of sunglasses. I need an organized structure for that. I'm trying to find a way of organizing my facial care products, things like that. So I am looking at, little ways to organize that stuff into little little drawers. or little baskets, things like that, so that I can, organize it. Because I can't do pluck and pick like styrofoam, or not, it's not styrofoam, but it's like acoustic material. I can't do that for everything because it's just not possible, right? So because sizes change all the time, so I would constantly be damaging stuff. So what I need those things for are like technology that I know is not going to change. So like a facial scrub brush or something like that. Just things like that I can kind of put into form-fitting things. So it's like, okay, everything has a place and a place for everything, and everything in its place. You okay, Sim? There's Bear again. Hi, Bear again. There's Sim over there. So working on that. So this day in history. Let's do a little bit of this day in history before we get back into anything else. Bear's got this little chewy thing there. This little chewy thing. Oh, we played with this rocket launcher thing for dogs today. It's so cute. Let me see if I can get it and show you. It's really cute. I'm going to show you. It's really cute. It's really, really cute. It's right here. It's called a blaster. So originally I was getting this thing called the Chuck It, which I found online on Amazon. But they don't fling well. They look kind of cheap. So I got this, which this is called the blaster. I think this is called the Nerf blaster. So what it is, the way it works is you see the little orange thing on top. If you've got sight, it's got this little orange thing on top. It's royal blue. The body's royal blue. It looks like a gun blaster. It has a trigger. On this side here on the bottom, there's a little, I'll put my hand there to show it for folks. You can actually put like a regular sized tennis ball or something right there to kind of store it. And then there's this orange gear here on top. So in there, you can kind of see there's if you can see it all, you can see there's like a little circular round, let's see. You can see there's like a little circular round hole inside there that you put a ball. It's like a tennis ball size. And then if you push the gear back, it has a little thing, and it launches something. Now, when you finish shooting it, the little gear here stays back in this place, and there's no, in other words, it doesn't auto reset itself. But what you do is, this thing back here means there's no pressure really on it, okay? So there's a button on the back, right there. There's a button on the back of this thing that you push and slide the gear forward. And depending on how far forward you put it, it increases the intensity of the intensity of the launch. Once you pull it back and cock it, it increases the intensity of the launch. So that's really cute. And I did that with a couple of the balls I had for Bear and everything today. Unfortunately, with too many boxes and crap everywhere, that was super shaky, I know. But it was so funny because he really likes chasing the ball when it launches. So now I just got to make sure that I get it to where there's not a bunch of crap on the floor. He can go chase these balls and be a crazy monkey, a crazy happy monkey. Be a crazy happy monkey. Bear, he's a big old bear dog. He loves to run around and play. He loves to run around. He's a good boy. So, that's a great little toy, and it's going to be really fun for him because he loves to play. He's such a beautiful play. Boy, and then my son over there is just my loyal boy. He likes to lay by daddy. He likes to play tug of war. Simba does. Anyways, so it's a really cool investment. I don't mind the price on that one because it's totally exciting. What I wish now is that I had huge property so I could cock it back and just and let him go run like crazy to get the balls or everything all over the place because he would have so much fun with that. Got to get a big yard at some point where he can run and play and he can get a distance. I don't know how far the distance can be on that thing, that little blaster, but I would be surprised if you couldn't shoot something, 15, 20 feet, which is a pretty good distance for a dog to go chase something like that. Maybe more. I didn't actually look to see what the pump action says that you can do with the distance, but it's really cool. So let's talk about a little bit of this day in history, and we'll move on to some last minute things. So this day in history, in 1912, Jackson Pollock, who's a very well-known artist, was born. In 1936 on this day, actor Alan Alda, who is 87 today, was born. Alan Alda, very well known for a bunch of things. He's done a number of great projects. He's probably best known, if I'm being presumptuous, for playing Hawkeye in the television adaptation of MASH. Now, originally Hawkeye was played by Donald Sutherland in the film, who's also a fantastic actor in the movie version. But on television, Alan Alda took on that role, and I think he's probably best known and the most recognizable for the role of Hawkeye, even over Donald Sutherland to some degree, because he played it for so long, and he was basically a fixture in, on people's television screens for years, playing that role. And he was good in the role. He's also fantastic at playing a villain. Alan Alda is. He's very talented. He's a very talented actor. And he's done some great jobs. He was in The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. And he's so happy. He's so happy just chewing on your little toy. Your little rawhide. He's such a good boy. They're both such good boys. My baby Simba's over there. Oh, Baba Simba. Over there. I love you guys so much. This bear. His bear with a waggly tail. I love that waggly tail. God, it's such a blessing. Hopefully going to get them taken to the doctor on Tuesday, the 31st, to get their annuals done, and then get a heartworm test and just see how they're doing, because they really need to go see the doctor. Okay, so Alan Alda, born on this day in 1936. In 1986, jumping ahead 50 years, actually a sad day in history. If you are at all familiar with history in 1986, you probably know at the very beginning of the year, one of the most tragic events, I think, of my youth happened, and that was the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger, with a lady by the name of Christa McAuliffe. Her real name was Sharon Christa McAuliffe. She was an American teacher who was a passenger. She was the payload, or I think it was payload analyst or something on board of the ship. She was also supposed to be the first American citizen to go into space, but of course, a little over a minute after the Challenger took off, a number of different reports, but basically there was a leak and the rocket exploded, and all 7 of the crew were killed. Unfortunately, I think there were 7 people on the crew on the Challenger. But obviously she would have been the first American citizen to go into space, and unfortunately she did not make that. I think there was someone named Alan. Computer, who was the first American citizen in space?
From Wikipedia.org. Frederick Ferris Thompson, June 14th, 1836, April 10th, 1890.
Computer, who was the first American citizen in space?
From TimeToast.com, Alan Shepard is the first.
Alan Shepard, that's it. Computer, stop. Alan Shepard ended up being the first American in space. But she was definitely she had that opportunity. Unfortunately, she passed away. I remember it vividly because I remember watching it. Don't remember exactly where I was. I want to say I was in school at the time, and we watched it, and of course it exploded. Or maybe I saw it on television that night, but I know I saw it the day of. But I remember that they did an episode of Punky Brewster with Soleil Moon Frye, who played Punky Brewster, where she and her classmates saw the Challenger explode. It was very sad, very, very sad. But for so many families, for the families of the astronauts who were killed, and it was kind of a punch in the gut for us who were watching the space program kind of continue to go and look like it was, this big endeavor into the stars and everything like that. We were continuing to grow beyond, just hitting the moon, exploring other, aspects of space. And it was starting to become where American citizens could actually go into space. At that point, it seemed like, and then of course this happened, and the space program kind of got a pretty significant setback for a while. Anyways, that was tragic. So in 2002, there's these last two things are unfortunately about passings, but the first one is a person by the name of, I actually didn't know this name until I was looking this day in history on Britannica, but Astrid Lindgren, who is the author of a number of books, including the Pippi Longstocking books. And I watched the Pippi Longstocking movies back in the day that they would have. I think those were movies, but I used to watch those. But she was the author, or Astrid Lindgren. Astrid Lindgren. I think that might have even been. Was that a man or a woman? Computer. Who is Astrid Lindgren?
Astrid Anna Amelia Lindgren.
Yeah, a female.
Writer of fiction and screenplays.
Computer, stop. So, computer, stop. Computer, stop. Sometimes it doesn't listen. So, Astrid Lindgren, who authored the Pippi Longstocking books, among a number of other books that she authored, passed away in 2002 at the age of 94. Now, coincidentally enough, also at the age of 94, but fast forward 19 years, in 2021, Cicely Tyson, who is very well known for playing a number of strong black women in history, strong black characters. Cicely Tyson, just look her up. Cicely Tyson has been around for decades, a very, very talented actor, passed away at the age of 94. So both of them, fortunately, had a very long life, 94 years, at least in the way we look at, lifespans of people. I mean, there are people who get to 100, George Burns and the like get to 100. Dick Van Dyke is still kicking. I think he's 96 or 97 now. Betty White, 100 years old almost. So, but 94 is a really nice long life. And, we shouldn't want to live forever. It makes the time more precious, the finite time we're here. We sometimes don't take advantage of the time we have while we're here. So, why live forever if it just gives you less of a reason to be motivated to make things happen, right? So those are the things that happen in history this day. But so I am getting things, I'm doing groundwork for organization. Probably a little too late though. So in some ways I'm a little behind because I should have been doing this before. But I kind of got motivated to look at some things and find ways to get more of my stuff organized. Unfortunately, because of Marie being ill, she has not been able to do any packing or anything like that, which worries me. I'm worried about myself, though, too. I can't just put it on her. I'm worried about myself because I have not gotten some of the things packed that I wanted to get packed yet. So I'm really going to hustle. Water didn't happen today. I'm not even going to pretend to bullshit about that. I'm failing on that one really bad. That's a really bad one as far as is concerned. I did drink 2 bottles of water in the last couple of days, but 2 bottles of water is nothing. Still got that garbage out there that I'm putting in my system that's really my own fault. Need to drink more water. You and I both know it. It's my failure, and I have to carry that and own that. So that being said, I think that covers. Oh, I would like to talk about something that happened. It didn't happen yesterday. But it was released yesterday, and I don't know all the full details about it. So let me be clear. I do not know all the full details about this story. I know 2 things that incredibly pissed me off about it, though. Okay, so if you are around in this time, 2023, on this day, January 28th, yesterday on the 27th, Friday the 27th, a video was released of a young black man who was brutally assaulted. And I think that the term fatally assaulted is accurate here by 5 quote-unquote police officers. Now, this happened some time back. I don't even know the date exactly, so I'm not pretending I know all the details of the attack. I'm telling you what I know based on the limited amount that I know. Go look into the story. If I come across more data about it and I do more research on it, then I will definitely talk about it probably, because I am really annoyed by what happened. So this young black man, shouldn't even matter that he's black, by the way. He was just a young man, but it's, we're getting to that place, but it shouldn't matter at all what color this person was. He's a human fucking being, okay? So, really irritating that he was treated like this. So, he was brutally, fatally assaulted by 5 quote unquote police officers. Their body cam and footage from a CCTV from, I think it was a light pole, or a public pole that was around that films scenes, was released yesterday. Just parts of it, which I don't think you should release all of it, because it's really heart-wrenching and tragic and just plain evil to watch what these people did. But these police officers, quote unquote, have been fired, and they have been charged with second-degree murder, which I tend to agree with what my mother said. She said, that was basically premeditated. They may have not decided to kill him until they actually, were there in the moment. Well, I don't know that they intended to kill him, but I know that they certainly knew that what they were doing was going to harm this person, and obviously in the end, incontrovertibly, it could never be, irreversibly assaulted and injured. But so the footage shows two things that really piss me off and make me unhappy. So apparently this young man was driving his car and he was pulled over. They didn't tell him why they pulled him over. He asked why they pulled him over, but they didn't tell him why they pulled him over. They got him out of his car, and 5 of them started beating on him. CCTV footage, not from their body. Now, I think their body cam footage shows it to some degree, but it's not as and it's up close. But it's hard to kind of tell things when it's kind of jiggly jaggly, all right up there in front of their face, right, and what they're doing. But when you see the CCTV footage from the distance, it apparently shows very clearly these 5 people brutally beating this young man. 5 police, quote-unquote, police officers, supposed to be peace officers, brutally beating on this young man, okay? And to the point where at one point, one of them, I don't know if it happened multiple times, but one of them, at least one of them at one point, kicked him in the head. That person, and every one of those 5, in my opinion, should be kicked in the fucking head. I don't think you should take it out on anybody other than them, but they need to be fucking kicked in the head, okay? Kicking someone in the head that's what I would do if someone came after my family. You don't do it to someone just because he was in a car. And if you were judging him because he was black, or you were just judging him because you wanted authority over someone, and you wanted to say, look, I'm big and I'm bad and I got a badge, fuck you. That does not give you the authority to fatally hurt someone and to kick someone in the head. That is just pure. All that is, to me, that is the definition of evil when there's no motivation behind it. If someone was attacking my family and I had to get someone down, then I would kick him in the head. If they were trying to do something, this kid was doing nothing. He was in his car. He was in a car, pulled over. Obviously, he wasn't trying to flee. He pulled over. And then they beat this young man. Fatally beat him. Fatally meaning he was going to die. But he died 3 days later. Can you imagine what was happening to him over the course of those next 3 days as he was suffering? And his parents, his mother, and this is one of the things that's so heart-wrenching. So heart-wrenching for me to see, is that this when you hear the body cam footage of this of one of these officers, and they've got him down, and they're assaulting him, killing him basically. He's screaming for his mother. He's saying, "Mom, Mom." His mother apparently was like 2 blocks away. He was just trying. He was so close and yet so far from his mother. And that was like his connection to life was his mother, because and it's just really so freaking evil when you hear someone calling for their mother. Yeah, they couldn't stop. He was Sanood. He wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't even trying to. He was wanting to breathe. He was trying to live, and he wanted his mom to be there because that was someone who he felt like covered him. There has to be a change in the kind of idiocy and the kind of power that we give police. If they are going to do that to someone, anyone, and they think that they have the authority simply because they have a badge does not give you the authority to hurt people. And it's been said over and over again that, it's all these few bad apples. Well, my mom said, well, it sounds like it's a whole damn barrel. My brother was pointing out yesterday during a conversation, he was saying, they always forget the last part of that. They say a few bad apples, and it spoils the bunch. And it's true, because look at what happened to Floyd. Now, Floyd was not a perfect human being by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, George Floyd, but he was handcuffed. God was sitting on him. He kept saying he couldn't breathe. Okay. At some point, and that police officer beat him to the point where he ultimately died, right? And those other police officers behind him, none of them came over and got him up and said, "Get off of him, you're fucking suffocating him. He's down, he's not going anywhere." And if it took just one there, and then it took this one here, and one of them was the ringleader, as it goes, and the other 4 followed, that is the one bad apple spoiling the bunch, because they continue, because there were 4 other police officers there. Didn't one of them, were they all just straight up bad apples together? Because it sounds like it, because otherwise one of them should have said, regardless is not a word, but regardless of whether they were hated or, mistreated by other police officers, said, "Stop it. The kid is calling for his mother. He's on the ground. Stop kicking him in the head. He's hurting. We need to get this kid to the hospital. This has gone too far." There has to be a change. There has to be a change, because if that is what you're going to get from police, why have them? We're better to decide as citizens ourselves, to protect our families, to take the law into our own hands. If the police are going to take an hour to get somewhere when someone's threatening you, then you beat them to fucking death if they're threatening your family. Beat them to fucking death in your home. If they make it in your window and your door, you fucking make sure they don't get out of it. Because it's them or you, and it's going to be you. Protect your family. If someone's trying to hurt you, do it. If you just hurt someone and they've never done anything to motivate you to hurt them specifically, not a certain group, but them specifically as an individual, because that's what we're supposed to do, is judge people by the content of their character. Someone breaks into my house, I know the content of their character is they don't give a crap about me or my family or what could potentially happen to us, so I don't care what happens to them. But if it's some kid who's driving in a car and you have no evidence that this kid has done anything wrong, I mean, anything wrong. You have nothing other than a suspicion. That is not enough to motivate you to beat him to death. To where he has to be in a hospital for 3 days. His mother crying over him, probably seeing this footage and going, oh my God, my son, he was just calling for me and I couldn't go there. God, I wish I could be there for him. Fucking evil. That is evil. And God rest his soul. I hope you are in heaven and there's no more pain. And I pray for your family, man, because it was so wrong. So wrong what happened to you. And I'm so sorry for whatever you went through. You didn't deserve it. It's okay, Bear. It's okay. Daddy's just sad about something that happened. Okay. There's enough people that know this is wrong. We have to make a change. We can't keep talking politics and trying to defend. There has to be a change in police behavior. There just has to be. There's too much of a power grab there. It's just like people with money. You give people money and they have power. You give them power and they're greedy. They're greedy and they want it. They want to retain it and they want to own it and they want to be them. We have it. We have the power. It's wrong. That is the problem. Power corrupts absolutely. God bless you and your family. Take care of each other. Judge people by the content of their character, okay? Stop worrying about all this bullshit aesthetic stuff on the outside. Judge people by the content of their character and give them a chance. As soon as they violate that chance, then you have a right to defend yourself. But don't just hurt them for the sake of hurting someone because you hold ill will because of a certain group, a certain gender, a certain, name, whatever. Judge individuals as individuals. Right, Bear? Right? You are a handsome, beautiful little angel. And your brothers, is Simba okay? Simba? 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 There's my boy. There's my beautiful lion. I love you. I love you both so much. I'm going to put this down to see you. Look at that. Look at that handsome boy. Look at that handsome little lion and that handsome bear dog. I love you, Simba. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, baby. God bless you all. Take care of yourself. Have a great night. Okay. See you.